hearing about defections here and there, resignations from one party to the other. And then I am asking, is this something to be scared about? Well, this and many others will be coming up today on Trending, and you do not want to miss that. Having this in mind, let me specially welcome you to Viewpoint on Atlantic TV. I am Mercy Erabo, and you know Viewpoint is your #1 morning show to keep your day enjoyable. Yes, so that's the very reason why you do not want to miss it. And you need to engage with us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Yes, so Viewpoint, you know how it is, you know how we do it right here on Viewpoint. We'll start with the dailies, then we'll go straight into the dialogue, then the news comes around, and of course the trending. And today's trending, I have loads and loads of gist for you. Well, we need to go on this quick break, and when we return, the dailies will be next.
When the lights go out, who do you call? Ticado! Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Your plug for electrical power, surveillance system, and entertainment. From expert electrical installation to efficient eco-friendly solar inverter systems, no matter the size, Ticado delivers smart energy solutions designed for today and tomorrow. We also help you secure your space with our cutting-edge security and surveillance system. Enjoy crystal clear entertainment with our professional DSTV and cable TV installation. Visit Ticado today at Block F4, Suite 41 and 42, HFP East Line Plaza, Abraham Adesanya, Aja, Lagos. Or call 0906 902 5025 or 0815 176 6817. Explore our services at ticado.com.ng. Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Power, protection, peace.
Welcome to the dailies. For review this morning, we have 5 papers: The Punch, This Day, The Guardian, The Nation, and of course, Vanguard. So this morning, we're starting with The Punch. Let's see if it has its usual puncher, and it sure does. The lead story says, mass defections ignite one-party state fears. And the writer says, Atiku Obi kick as Tinubu tightens grip on South with governor's defections. APC awaits Diri, Oti, Kefas, and Mutwang. Interesting story on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. We actually saw all of this playing out yesterday when the Bayelsa State governor tendered his resignation. Well, away from that, let's see what we have at the top mass. Yeah, Jonathan slams successor for abandoning Bayelsa project. That's on page 14 of the Punch newspaper. Presidential jet still unsold 4 months after listing. Interesting story on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. Inflation drops to 18.02% in 6-month streak. A great one on page 24 of the Punch newspaper. Still at the top mass, Senate screens new INEC chair Amupitan today. That's on page 22, and I hope we don't get what we saw the last time, this time around. Well, I trust Amupitan. Anyways, away from that, let's go to the bottom mass. Lagos rejects National Assembly Central Gaming Bill. That story is on page 6 of the Punch newspaper. 4 arraigned over murder of Osun local government chair. Well, that's on page 5 of the Punch newspaper. House probes $35 million modular refinery project. That story is on page 24 of the Punch newspaper. And the picture of the day, yeah, that's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu during the meeting in Rome, and that's also the Rome Prime Minister Gloria Meloni. So they had this bilateral meeting at Rome yesterday. Well, that's what we'll be taking this morning on the Punch newspaper. Let's see what the nation has for us. The lead story, Lakbo Biri, Wike, others okay Diri's exits from PDP. And the writer says, Deputy Governor yet to decide. Dixon Obi kick. PDP State Chairman endorse conversion. Well, you can read more of that story on page 2 of the Nation newspaper. Let's see what we have. Yeah, we have one here. IMF urges Nigerians to prioritize infrastructure funding. Well, that's on page 3 of the Nation newspaper. Yeah, let's see what we have at the top mass. NERC approves 28 billion naira for discos to provide meters. Well, that story is on page 7 of the Nation newspaper. New investments to add 600,000 BPD, that's a barrel per day, and 2.0 barrel gas daily. That story is on page 7 of the Nation newspaper. Edun spotted in high spirits at London Gallery booth. That story is on page 3. And what we have on page 7, UBA to unveil white paper on Africans' financial infrastructure. Yeah, that story is on page 7 of the Nation newspaper. Let's see if we have more stories. Yeah, we do at the bottom mass. Stable Naira, food price, cash drop inflation to 18.08%. Well, you can read more of that story on page 3 of the Nation newspaper. 5,000 teachers get employment letters in Edo State. That's showing that Okbewolo prioritizes education in Edo State. Well, more of that story is on page 5 of the Nation newspaper. Tompolo donates 10 billion naira to Delta Security Fund. Well, that's a nice one coming from Tompolo on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. And then the picture of the day, oh, that's the 90th birthday celebration of Mrs. Victoria Abiodun, mother of Prince Dakbo Abiodun, the Ogun State governor, at the Christ Apostolic Church Grammar School, Ikberu Remo, yesterday. Well, that's all we're taking this morning on the Nation newspaper. Let's see what this day has for us. The lead story reads, 24 hours after Umba joins ABC, Diri abandons PDP, keeps mom on next move. Interesting story. And we have a whole lot of riders to that. Quits withhold of party structure. Ben Bruce joins APC. Dixon retreats loyalty to party. PDP appoints Ben Obi convention security. Interesting story on page 38 of this day newspaper. Let's see, yeah, we can see one story here. Inflation declines further 18.02% amid moderation in food energy prices, affects stability. Well, you can read more of that story on page 38 of this day newspaper. Let's see what we have at the top mass. Cardoso woos investors as FX turnover hits $8.6 billion. Anticipates current account surplus to exceed $20 billion. We have a whole lot of riders to that. DMO reveals Nigeria in advanced talks to region JP Morgan Bond Index. Elumelu calls for $4 trillion domestic capital to drive investment, boost Africans' productivity. UBA to launch white paper on Africans' financial infrastructure. The International Monetary Fund urges fiscal discipline. Well, more of that story is on page 38 of this day newspaper. Let's see if we have more. Now, sadly, we do not have more, but the picture of the day on this day newspaper, yeah, it's still the celebration of Mama Victoria Abiodun, that is the mother to the Ogun State governor, and all of this played out yesterday in Ogun State. Well, that's all we're taking this morning on This Day newspaper. Let's see what The Guardian has for us. Yeah, the lead story here states, Obi Atiku's 2027 bids wobble as defections, internal strife rock Labour Party and the People's Democratic Party. Well, that story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Yeah, at the top mass, Senate screens Amupita as INEC chairman today. That story is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Castina government not part of community's negotiation with bandits, says Reader. Well, that story is on page 29 of the Guardian newspaper. Nigeria's revenue to output ratio may drop to 9.2% by 2030. International Monetary Fund warns. Well, that business story is on page 15 of the Guardian newspaper. Yeah, at the sidemas we have stories. The stakeholders welcome easing inflation, worry about cost of living crisis. Still on business story, you can get more of that on page 15 of the Guardian newspaper. Reps probe $35 million Brass Modular Refinery project. More of that is on page 28 of the Guardian newspaper. Let's see if we have more. Yeah, at the bottom mass, Tom Polo contributes 10 billion naira to Delta Security Trust Fund. Well, that story is on page 28 of the Guardian newspaper. And the picture of the day, yeah, the picture we can see President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we can see Abubakar Atiku and Peter Obi. So this story is still talking about the lead story, Obi Atiku's 2027 bids wobble as defections, because we've been seeing lots of defections from PDP especially, and it's causing internal strife in the parties. Well, that's all we're taking this morning on The Guardian. Let's see what the Vanguard has for us this morning. Yeah, the lead story, Obi Dixon, ADC railed against spate of defections to APC. Still talking defections from one party to the other. We have a whole lot of riders to that. Nobody can capture Southeast with defections, says Peter Obi. Tinubu's one-party state unfolding. ADC is saying this. I remain firmly with PDP. And Dixon is screaming this aloud. 3 more PDP governors will soon resign. And this is coming from Fayoshe. Interesting story that is on page 30 of the Vanguard newspaper. Yeah, I can see something on suicide. Reps move to ban hazardous pesticides. And we have a lot of riders to that. Vanguard Summit assembles panel to deliberate on suicide crisis. 70% of suicides in Nigeria linked to ingestion of toxic pesticides. And this is coming from lawmakers. The speakers, panelists emerge for summit. So they're trying to ban the whole hazardous pesticides. We hear of people taking snipers and all of that. So they will soon be banned to that. Well, more of that story is on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. Let's go to the top mass. Inflation rate slows, first time in 3 years, to 18.02%. Well, that story is on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper. We won't negotiate with bandits, says Castina Governor Raider. Well, that's on page 33 of the Vanguard newspaper. Bayelsa Governor Diri, Speaker, other lawmakers quit PDP. Well, you do not want to miss trending today, because we'll go deeper into this very topic on trending later this morning. Well, you can read more of that on page 14 of the Vanguard newspaper. Nigeria risks chaos over rising violence. Sultan, Muslim leaders warn. Well, that's on page 33 of the Vanguard newspaper. We'll still have lots more at the bottom-mass region. Defections. By 2026, Nigeria will have 30 APC-controlled states, says Information Minister Idris. Well, that story is on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. Currency swap, new framework on the way. This is coming from Cardoso. Well, that story is on page 12 of the Vanguard newspaper. And then talking about sports, Osimhen's best striker in the world. And who is saying this? This is coming from Shell. It said Osimhen is the best striker in the world. Yes, we saw this during the last battle with Benin. And it was a very victorious goal that came from Osimhen. Well, you can read more of that on page 39 of the Vanguard newspaper. And then the picture of the day. Yeah, it shows a moment captured at the launch of the Delta State Security Trust Fund held in Asaba. In the photo, you can see key dignitaries together, including members of House of Representatives, the Delta State governor, and prominent figures from both the private and the public sector. The events, of course, focused on strengthening security and peace efforts across Delta State, with leaders reaffirming their commitment to support the initiative through collaboration and funding. And it was during this trust fund that Tom Polo donated 10 million naira to the Delta State Security Trust Fund. Well, that's what we'll be taking this morning on the Vanguard and on the dailies. And if you find anyone interested, do well to grab yourself a copy of any of the papers. Yes, so we need to go on this quick break. And when we return, the dialogue will be next.
My name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst, one of Nigerian comedy.
All right, guys, back again. Yes, boss. My name is Osh, baby.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah, what up, people? It's your boy Victor Adi.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife, Ninja Celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV. We wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different. When the lights go out, who do you call? Ticado! Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Your plug for electrical power, surveillance system, and entertainment. From expert electrical installation to efficient eco-friendly solar inverter systems, no matter the size, Ticado delivers smart energy solutions designed for today and tomorrow. We also help you secure your space with our cutting-edge security and surveillance system. Enjoy crystal clear entertainment with our professional DSTV and cable TV installation. Visit Ticado today at Block F4, Suite 41 and 42, HFP East Line Plaza, Abraham Adesanya, Aja, Lagos. Or call 0906 902 5025 or 0815 176 6817. Explore our services at ticado.com.ng. Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Power, protection, peace.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Don't
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
It is back. It is bigger and it's better.
The Future of the Warri Child second edition is here. It's a one-day career seminar designed to inspire and equip senior secondary school students for greatness. Seeing beyond limits, unlocking the potential of the Warri Child. Date is 24th day of October 2025. Time 9 a.m. Venue, the Brown Hill Colosseum, Warri in Delta State. Powered by Coral Care Foundation. For more inquiries, please call 08034659576 or 07031946811. The future is bright.
Nigerian rising debt profile, despite improving government revenue, presents a critical challenge that demands urgent action. Focus on transparency, fiscal discipline, and rigorous oversight to maintain debt sustainability. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, sounded the alarm at a recent public forum revealing that Nigerian public debt has surged to about 1.39 trillion, approximately 97 billion United States dollars by the first quarter of 2025. The sharp increase from 121.7 trillion in 2024 highlights a growing fiscal burden and a continued reliance on domestic and foreign borrowing to fund public spending, despite notable increase in government revenue, especially from the non-oil sector. Some economists have predicted that Nigeria's public debt could hit about 187.79 trillion by December this year. The Debt Management Office has attributed high borrowing costs on external debt to global shock, including rising international interest rates and a volatile commodity pricing. In addition, the depreciation of the naira has amplified the domestic currency value of foreign debt. With the rise in debt, it is also believed that the ordinary Nigerians will be the ones at the receiving end, adding to an already dire situation Nigeria seems to be, and a need for us to talk about it on this edition of Dialogue Today. And that is Nigerian rising debt and effect on ordinary Nigerians. And that's what we're having as a major discourse today on the show. We're looking at the Nigerian rising debt and its really major effect on ordinary Nigerians. And that's what we're taking a critical look at. We're not just looking at the economic side of it, but what Nigerians are indeed going to go through on account of this rising debt. And to help us look about this is no other person, but someone from the civil society organization that's critically examining issues and also having a strong voice as it concerns this rising debt. And we're really greatly concerned about the need for government to do something quickly. And I'm talking of no other person but activist Kevin Ojomodo. Good morning and welcome to the show, Kevin.
Good morning, Mr. Ray. Good morning, esteemed viewers and listeners.
Well, anyway, I needed to call you activist and not comrade for the first time on introducing you, knowing that you're going to be the strongest on account of this rising debt profile. I could even remember, you wrote a piece immediately you saw this on some social media platform. Yes. But as much as you're talking about that, also looking at what you've done on social media, I would want us rather to look at a complex issue that seems to be unfolding before we dive into this very issue of our rising debt. And is the issue that you seem to be handling on account of a young girl, 13 years old girl, Davina, that under some very funny circumstances lost her life and was buried without the knowledge of her own biological mother. Yes. I really want us to just run through, yes, in case you're watching, that's a picture right there, a beautiful young lady, 13-year-old she is. Really give us a rundown, because many Nigerians are a bit confused on what seems to be happening there and what really transpired according to your own knowledge and where we are at the moment.
Yes, it's disheartening. You know, it broke my heart the morning the mother of this little girl Davina Temisa Olotie. That's her name. She's 13. The mother reached out to me via my Facebook handle. Her name is Miss Dokas. That her 13-year-old daughter, under a mysterious and unexplained circumstance, lost her life. And I took up the matter immediately. I reported to Edmund police station, where the statement was obtained. And getting to the house of the father was not at home. They met only the wife. So she was arrested to the station. For 2 days, this young man didn't show up. Then what was the mother's statement and her prayer before the police? She said for 13 years she has been raising this little girl on her own as a single mother. That the father moved on and got married to another woman. They are together. And that the father, they went for a burial ceremony in a village where he now saw his own daughter with her mother, with her grandmother. And I said, wow, so the daughter is looking so fine and well catered for. He now reached out to the mother, I know I've not been a responsible father for 13 years, I've not been supporting, but please, she is grown now, she's 13. I would like to be having custody of her during the holiday. The mother said no, but after much persuasion, she agreed. It's his daughter. So, and the daughter was also crying too that, I want to go and see my daddy. You know, daughters and their fathers. She was crying, okay, I want to go and see my daddy. They said, okay, go and see your daddy. Then this holiday that just passed, for 1 month holiday, she now released the child to go stay with the father. One fateful Sunday, an anonymous caller just called her and said, Dokas, did they bury your daughter? She was like, who's this person? What are you saying? He said, they passed and said, God, and that's what happened. They said, they bury your daughter, Davina. She was like, my daughter, buried. So immediately she ran from her place to the father's place. On getting there, she saw the family people, they sat down, they said, she's sick, she just died, they're going to just bury her in a local parlance. She now said, no, how can my daughter just fall sick? Davina that was healthy, just fall sick, and nobody told me. And people buried her. So she was trying to struggle her way to say, no, they must show her, they must bring her out. They started fighting her. The sister to the man was fighting her, and the man too was also fighting her. So there was no way she on her own could resist or fight back. She now left. So I said, okay, fine. I took up the case and we made arrest. For 2 days, this young man didn't show up in the station to come. Okay, they've arrested the wife. Come, the police are inviting you. He refused to come. So after much persuasion, he now turned up on Friday last week. When he turned up, okay, Mr. Taye, tell us what happened to Temisa Davina Olotie, 13 years old. In his account, he said on Saturday, he made palm oil rice in the house. He ate, the daughter ate, and he left the house. And he said, prior before now, his daughter, the 13-year-old girl, caught the wife sleeping with a neighbor, having in a compromising position. So she now reported to the father. So the father confronted the wife and the neighbor, even took cutlass and chased the neighbor, and the matter ended in the police station. So the police said, matter, you don't call me before, and I say yes. Now your husband said you sleep outside, I say yes. Okay. So the little girl told the father that, so now that caused a quarrel. So the woman left the house on Tuesday of that week that the girl died. So the father said when he made the rice, he ate, the daughter ate, and he left. And he came back at night. He saw her lying down in the couch. And Davina said, mommy came, stepmother came. He said, okay, really? He now went to the kitchen himself, now slept from the rice and ate. And he said after eating, about 2 minutes later, he started feeling upset in his stomach. Then he reached out to get palm oil and drank palm oil. Then the next morning, he saw that Davina was still in that same position that she was at night. That's Davina, as we were waking her up, she has poo on her body, and she was so weak that she could not move, she could not talk. So he said he rushed her to a chemist. From a chemist, the chemist woman said, this child is too, take her to General Hospital. So he was taking her to Agbara General Hospital when Davina gave up. Now Davina gave up, you didn't reach out to the mother, you took her to your family compound. His father was the one that now stood and now buried the child. I've not seen where a father buried his granddaughter. I've lost a 3-year-old daughter. I wasn't even there when they laid my daughter to rest. My friends and some of my younger ones took the child out because it's an abomination for a father to bury a child. So this mother, her prayer and seeking for justice because they didn't tell her what killed her daughter, when the daughter died, and she was already buried. That same Sunday you said she was sick. That same Sunday you said she gave up. That same Sunday you people buried her without the mother coming to see the child. Or nobody reached and say, Davina is not feeling well, please can you come over? Yeah. At least let the mother show that last respect, even if the child was sick, let her know. So she, on her own part now, the father is not saying he's suspecting that his wife, stepmother, poisoned the rice that he made. But mostly he was the last person that ate from him, and he was last person with the child with the disease. So he had a lot to tell us. Today we're going to get the court order to exhume the body, because we want to exhume the body for carry out an autopsy to ascertain what really killed her and how she died. So that's how far we've gone with the matter. And truly justice will be served by the end of the day.
Well, anyway, it's indeed a sad one, and we know you were coming, so we needed to really get an update on her concerning that very unfortunate incident. Now, let's still return back to it, because I'm also a bit concerned. The stepmother is already in detention.
Yes, she is.
So what is she saying? Because all we've only heard from Davina's father.
Yes.
Has she made any useful information regarding the demise of this young girl?
She's saying she left the house on Tuesday after the husband alleged her for infidelity, and she left with her 4 kids.
Okay. She's
saying she didn't come to the house on Saturday.
But the Davina said she came.
Davina said she came, but now Davina now is deceased. So she's not here now to tell us really, mommy, you came, you were wearing the white shirt and a wrapper. Now, a eyewitness account, the eyewitness is deceased and the bone of contention in this matter. So that's the cross of it now. So it's going to be for further investigation to be carried out, and the autopsy will now reveal the cause of death. To know if really she was poisoned, or if the father had allegedly tried to have knowledge of her. Whatever the thing is, we'll get to it with the autopsy.
Okay, now let's return to the mother herself. Now, she said she went there when her daughter was being buried, and she was fought on account of asking questions.
Yes.
Now, what stand is the family standing on that she was not pre-informed of the death of the daughter?
The grandfather, which is the father of the Mr. Taye, said he reached out to the mother, the grandmother.
Okay, that
the late girl's grandmother.
Okay.
That he reached out to the late girl's grandmother. But why didn't you, your own son,
also
reach out to the lady that gave birth to this child for him? And why you, as a grandfather, already buried little Temisa without waiting for the mother to even come? He said because time was going and it's already getting to the evening. He said, no, but that's wrong. Now I want to know which doctor ascertained that this little girl has passed. There's no medical report to show that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to be unraveled in this matter, and we'll keep pursuing justice to ensure that justice is served at the end of the day, because no Nigerian child deserves to go this way that little Davina that she did. No. Not that she was sick. She was hijacked because neighbors said they saw her on Thursday with the father when he walked past a particular filling station. She was healthy, healed and healthy. The father also said when he left the house in the morning, she was healed and healthy. So what now happened between the time allegedly the stepmother came into the house or the father, we don't know what happened when his wife has already left the house with the other 4 children. So that's where we are in the matter.
Well, anyway, it's a sad one, and one will be giving you an update as it follows. And remember, we'll also trend this on trending. It seems to be a story that's already making a whole lot of inputs, and it will not be bad if we get it first from the horse's mouth. And also knowing that activist Kevin Ojomodo seems to be the one handling the issue on account of the death of that very young girl. And we're talking about Davina. And well, it's a sad story, but a story that, like you said, is still unveiling. And we'll be getting a quick update as it concerns that. And be rest assured, at Atlantic TV, we always do our very best to bring all that seems to be to you firsthand, so you get a full grasp of what seems to be happening. But it's a sad reality, and a one that, like he said, no child needs to go down in this kind of form. A child that was held and healthy, a child that was willing to know the father even after 13 years, and now she's no more. Well, it's indeed a sad tale, but, well, one that seems to be happening in the country and in this Delta State, well, and one, I know that the government will do all it can to get to the very root and ensure that justice is served at the end of the day. Be rest assured we'll be giving you an update on all of that. But let's still return back to our major question. We needed to get an update on that, and that's why we needed to ask him. Undermine is an activist, also in a bit of an economist, so you definitely understand why he's also joining us on this awesome discussion. And like I said, we're still looking at Nigerian rising debt and the effect on ordinary Nigerians, and knowing that the debt profile is now put at about 49.97 trillion naira, which is equivalent to about 97 billion United States dollars. Now, let's quickly come to it, because there's a whole lot for us to talk about and get our minds around it. Now, I could still remember in 2023, just immediately after the elections, our debt profile deteriorated rapidly from 49.85 trillion to over 134.30 trillion, if I could still remember. But surprisingly, by September 2024, our debt profile had reached about 142.3 trillion naira. Now, if you break this money down to close to 200 million persons that we are, each of us, as of 2024 September, was owing nothing less than 624,527 naira, both our children. So that was our debt profile. Yeah. Now, a year after, we are now owing close to almost 650,000 each. So my question is, I really want to get your thoughts around all of this. I know I've read your piece on account of this, yes, but I want to get your thoughts around this huge public debt that seems to be rising and not falling, and rather having a longing effect on us.
Yes, thank you very much. You see, I had to exhale because it's worrisome.
Okay.
It's heart-troubling to see the most populous black nation of Africa, a one-time giant of Africa, being brought to this level of indebtedness. Now, one we ask, it is not bad for an economy to borrow. The United States of America, they borrowed.
China and the United States see the highest debt owners.
But when you see the input of this borrow, you applaud their leaders for putting pen to paper and ensuring that services that are being rented to the people are getting to the people, and everybody is being carried along in the polity. In the Nigerian context, it's an aberration to see successive government just come in and the first thing they reach out to is to borrow. A responsible government will think of, first of all, how to stabilize its economy and get foreign investors to invest in your system. So your legal tender, we have a strength among the legal tenders of the world. Today, the Ghana cedis and the CFAs and all of that are trying the naira in the stock exchange market. So I begin to wonder, is this same naira that some years ago they said a naira is equivalent to $2? In this same Nigeria that we are in, a naira was equivalent to $2 to a naira. But today, what do we get? 1,600 naira to $1 in a country where we have the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, we have the governor of CBN. But what do you get? When the CBN, a past CBN governor, looted en masse, and politicians, they loot they go on looting spree, and nobody is held accountable for their actions. Then it becomes a looting assembly and looting academy. It's a shame. And it beats my imagination that the elites, the political elites, they are so comfortable even with these statistics. This should worry every responsible government issue. Immediately they will sit on the round table. No. We need to put a stop to this border and see how we can
now, talking about sitting on a round table and putting a plug to it, well, funny enough, all of these came to light on account of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, coming out on the forum to say, well, yes, our debt profile is something now that gives every Nigerian a need to worry. And funny enough, he was also part of those that approved the new July proposed planning of the federal government when they borrowed about 21 billion United States dollars. They gave that approval on account of infrastructure. And not only that, like I said also, in March, we had about 1.68 billion also given to us by the World Bank. But my question, yes, you've made account of, okay, yes, undermining is not wrong to borrow, but there's every reason to have it on ground, to see what we have on ground. But with the way we are, is there any other chances for us not borrowing? Because like what we also do know, 61% of our earnings that comes to us is being channeled into paying some of these huge debts, both in previous administration up to this administration. So let's look at it. Is there any other way we can sustain ourselves without really borrowing? The honest truth.
The honest truth, we cannot sustain our economy with the prevailing economic challenges, with the global recession and all of that, in different parts of the world, the war between Gaza and Israel and all of that happening.
And how it seems to be affecting
Russia-Ukraine war affected the global market. There's no way an economy will be able to run, Nigerian economy will be able to run without borrowing. But the borrowing must be responsible.
Okay.
We must ensure that when we take, because you see, they keep borrowing and we do not see the effect in the life of common Nigerians. Okay. Now, a country that has refineries that are not working, that should bother us first. Because, my career, to shock you to understand that Nigeria makes more money not from oil, but through services that we render.
Most certainly.
Services, that's where Nigeria makes their money. We render a lot of services. Not even in the oil market. But it's surprising why what gives us money, we do not seem to channel our energy to those areas. Just look at how God has blessed this country. Every region can survive on their own and support the next region. Every region can survive and support the next region. But have we been able to put all of this together to make an economic hub? In this country, we have say Vision 2020. Vision 2000 came, Millennium Goal. Millennium Goal came and they borrowed money, they looted from IMF and all of that, and nothing to write home about. Now they've come to Vision 2050. We've not been able to make 2025 palatable for Nigerians. We're talking about 2050. It's somebody that have eaten well, that is healthy, that will even stay alive. When the masses are not healthy, they're not well fed, they're not well catered for, how can they be alive? So there's a big lacuna between the government and the people. We don't have a middle class anymore in Nigeria. It's either you are rich or you are poor. I will say this with all levels of sincerity. There's no middle class anymore in Nigeria. Go to the banks and see what's happening. They beg you to go and take loans now. Because there's no investment. So they beg you to go and take soft loans and do whatever you can do. What about the rate? They're high. If the CBN governor can loot what he looted, the former CBN governor can loot what he looted, if Melekiari can loot what he looted allegedly by the EFCC and is being called out, then you know that there's something wrong with our system. We must come together and say, Nigeria first. Let's make this country first. Now a single man has gotten a refinery. The cabal is still fighting him to make sure that it doesn't scale through. How do you not want the man in United States of America to come and invest in your soil? Seeing how you are dealing with your own citizens that have invested heavily, most amount of money in your refinery sector. All of this shows that we are not ready as the people to drive our economy. Agrarian-wise, we have all it takes to grow our food. I saw that they were importing palm oil. Nigeria importing palm oil. That Indonesia came some years ago to come and take our seed to plant. And they are today one of the major exporters of palm oil. Today, this same Nigeria, we are importing palm oil. They make banga in tin cups. Like you said, this already produced in tin cup. Weed and we are every village in this town. You just put the seed there. It grows. Without fertilizer, without any they do well. We have one of the best cassava. What do we do with it? We cannot even export our gari. Make it Nigerian gari to be sold in all markets all over the world globally. Nigerian fufu. Producing our drones. Even today, if this phone is faulty, my career, they'll tell you at the plaza that just buy another one. You have these people that replace with your charger. Your charger is what they say, oh guy, you don't buy another one. When we can run a service of infotech, doing all of this is for us, make life easy for the masses.
We'll come to what you feel the government needs to do, or what we need to do as Nigerians to indeed redirect the trend. Yes. But in all honesty, we seem to be between the hard rock and the deep blue sea. But in respective of that, you talked about no more middle class. But I'm more concerned about ordinary Nigerians. Yes. Because in all eventuality, with the rate we're going, economists have said by the end of this year, December to be precise, our foreign debt could reach almost 187.79 trillion naira. So my major concern and the reason we're having this discussion is what impact will this have for the ordinary Nigerians? For Mama Kiemute selling Bangar rice at Jakpa Road. For Usman riding keke all the way to PTI. For Mama Osas that is selling crayfish and salt at Otodo Junction, Nugeli. So let's look at what overall impact will this have on that ordinary Nigerian with this huge debt profile that's even expected to rise.
You know, the ripple effect we started seeing now, there's a huge surge in sudden death.
Okay.
There's a huge surge. If you go by the death statistics of Nigerians, you see people just walk on the road and they slump. Not because they were sick, they are hungry. Hunger is one of the major tools that could frustrate any living being. Because in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, he said the first need of a man is food.
Yeah.
Clothing, shelter before the need to be liked and be loved.
Yeah.
The first need of a man in Maslow's hierarchy of needs is food. What is the cost of food today in Nigeria, Michael? You can't even walk to a restaurant and eat 5,000 naira food and you are full. Except you stool when you are leaving that place, you start stooling. But that you want to eat a good meal, even in your house, your wife want to make a good food, 20,000 naira can no longer make a good soup that could last for 3 days anymore. Sometimes we begin to ask the women, I be they take a money do susu. When you go to the market yourself, you will not see that even these women, they are trying. A small smoked ice fish you carry, they say is 2,000 naira. And a family of 3, 1 meal is gone. How do the common Nigerian will feel this surge? It will bite harder and it will lead to more of, it will be an increase in crime.
Yeah.
You saw in Katsina yesterday, bandits holding meeting with community persons in Katsina State. That tells you that there's a big fall in governance and leadership. How can a sovereign nation now have bandits moving with ammunitions, holding meetings with locals, ensuring, giving them assurance of security? And we have the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. We have service chiefs. So this, first of all, will bring, total hardship to the common man. One, there will be surge in sudden death. Two, there will be a high rate of criminality in the country. Three, there will be anger and temperamental issues. At any slightest opportunity, people get vexed. You saw what happened in Nepal. The Gen Zs, they took over the streets, they are frustrated. Some of them didn't go to that protest because they love what they were doing. But because they've looked at their left and their right, what can we say we've achieved from the government? Before now, we see free education from primary to university level. We have no scholarship anymore. We don't longer see them. Now this time to sit, call a confab. How do we reshape this? If it's need for us, shut down the border. The way China did, become a self-sufficient nation. We import everything in this country. Let's be self-sufficient. Put money more in production. Open the market. You keep traveling from one country today, president is in France, tomorrow is in Germany, telling people to come and invest in your country. And every day in the news, they see insurgents kidnapping people, killing people, and all over. How will they come and invest? And even Dangote that invested in your country, you are fighting him to stand still. He must say he wants to move the product to the people directly. That way the price will drop. Commodity in the market will drop because everything comes into what? Fuel and diesel. Yeah. Like you said, Mama Osato selling Bangar rice in Otodo Junction. She will buy charcoal, she will go to the market, she will transport whatever she has bought, meat and everything, to the point of cooking. After cooking, that's what she will also use to feed her children and pay little money for house rent. We've not even gone to see the side of healthcare. Because if you fall sick now in Nigeria, it's a time up for you. Don't even try to fall sick. Try your best to stay healthy, don't try to fall sick. Because even a small pharmacy will tell you, give me malaria medication after test. When they bring it up for you, see, for that time for your bill. That's why I don't joke myself. I eat very well so I don't fall sick. I make sure I eat that medication to not fall sick. So my career, please try to eat very well.
Well, I've eaten very well.
Try not to die in this country.
I've eaten very well. Well, anyways, while we're eating up the topic, we're still looking at the issue of the rising debt profile that seems to be hitting the ceiling, and one that is getting a whole lot of Nigerians really, really concerned. and what needs to be done, especially by this administration, looking that, in all honesty, our debt profile might increase to 187.79 trillion at the end of December. And like I said in my introduction and my very first question, every Nigerian as it stands is owing close to 650,224 naira. So in case you don't know now, you know. And in case you feel you are not owing anybody, well, I'll just implore you, you are owing the international community. Try to think how to pay up. But anyway, that's on a very light note. Coming now to a more serious concern. Yes, you've given us a breakdown on how it is and what seems to be. And you also made every emphasis of we looking inward rather than outward in dealing with this problem. Now, it is of great interest, we need to state this, that our revenue profile has increased. Let's be frank. We now sell more oil and get more revenue. Our revenue profile as of July this year has increased to 34.7%. That means we are earning so much as it concerns crude oil sale. Even our non-oil sector seems to also be getting some relative gains, especially as it concerns the economy. But the problem still remains a huge debt servicing that seems to be growing, skyrocketing, and is in every way increasing. Now, you've just talked about what should be, but let's really look at what government should do. Yes, you talked about getting this money. It is not out of place to borrow, yes, but it is out of place not to invest what you borrow in critical sectors that will bring about a turnaround of the economy and indeed a huge return on your interest. But let's still remain. What do you feel this government needs to now start doing to ensure that the minds of every Nigerian is a bit relaxed as it concerns this huge debt ceiling?
The first thing first, I always say this, is accountability.
Accountability.
Yes. And responsibility.
Okay.
The government of the day at all levels, not just the federal government, but most times we keep throwing it at Tinubu this, Tinubu that. What about the local government chairman? Their returns they get monthly now are tripled.
Yeah. In all honesty.
From what they get prior before this administration, what they get after subsidy removal are tripled.
Yeah.
If you were getting 100 million before, now they're getting 300 million naira per monthly.
Yeah.
How are these 3 million naira impacted in life of the locals? How are the councillors representing the different wards in their local government? Your councillor project, how have you gone about it? Is it just about borehole? No. There are critical sectors that you need to look into. Our senators, what are you doing in Abuja? Go to your constituents and ask people, what are your needs? Build tech hubs for them. Bring the market closer to the people. Okay, assemble all the cassava you've harvested and all the garri you have. I have an export business for people. They'll come and carry from you, and they make good money and they smile. Open the seaport. We have Warri seaport. Dredge it so it can flow through and bigger vessels can dock. Yeah. When they dock here, the price of bench of vehicles will decrease. When I was growing up, we used to come to MPA to offload things for white people. They will make small money. And we were okay. Everybody was off crime. But the rest of the people go do small, so you have to carry it for 3-4 hours. This is your money. And you are going home happy. Dignity of labor. We have gas. We flare, we just waste our gas. What is going on? Look at Kokpai, flow station, flow station and all of that. What are we doing with it? So if government is accountable, when you take these borrows, because why would Nigerians are angry is that each time you borrow this money, we have been telling the World Bank, stop giving them money when they call. I don't know what they tell them, but I don't always give them money. Stop giving them, because he who goes borrowing goes sorrowing. When you go back to borrow, the man begins to take the economy for you. Even when it's at detriment of the people, it was the IMF that told President Tinubu that you see subsidy, you have to remove it. And because he wants to borrow, he succumbed to their plight. Today, where are we? Since May 29, when he said subsidy is gone, we've not been able to stabilize the economy anymore. Because there was never products in place to checkmate the subsidy you are removing to give people the people will not feel the effect and the pinch on them. Today, all of us were wailing. How do we get people that produce spare parts? The companies, you don't have to import there. When you import in dollars, you are boosting the mass economy in diaspora. But when you import with your naira, your legal tender is getting strength. Nigeria farmers not carry their things to Cotonou to go and sell because they want to make more money because their money is not higher than the naira. If you sell a truck of gari in Nigeria, for example, for 10 million, that same truck of gari, if you take it to Cotonou, to Togo, you sell it, it comes back for you like 150 million. Hence, we're having food shortage because most of them decide to move out of that of Nigeria to go and sell elsewhere to make a mungus amount of money. Now, what do? The government must be accountable. The senators, House of Rep member, the government chairman, and governors. Governors are catching out big time. Governors are catching out on a monthly basis. Some are not even indulging any project at all. That the people they don't even feel that we have a governor. Some don't feel they even have senators representing them. Like people of Kogi, every day I feel for them because now the Natasha has not been able to give them representation all this while for 6 months, and they are crying. They need to be represented.
And there's every tendency that she might really not do so till the end of the year.
Yes.
Judging by
their body language
of the National Assembly and also coming out yesterday to say she has to wait.
In all of this, we must get a responsible government and accountable government. When you borrow, you see the wife of the Nepal Prime Minister, she was begging that she would give them $10,000 for them to allow her go. If as when your husband was there, you take this money to say, okay, please, my husband, open free mother and children health care. Let the common man go there, deliver, go home and rest and celebrate. Some people are even scared of carrying their vehicle to the mechanic because the minute you drive to the mechanic and say, check the legs for me, the next thing you hear is 200,000 naira for truck and this for that and that and that and that. And these things are not produced here. But if our refiners are working well, we'll get even grease. We'll get hydraulic, all of them, they are components from crude oil. And we'll sell and make money. So why shifting from what to give us money to irrelevant issues in international space that will not put any money in our desk? You're calling Big to come and invest in Nigeria. How conducive is your security?
Yeah.
Your tax?
Are they hostile to investors?
Are they hostile to investors? Because the man coming is only an investor that is not wise, that wouldn't do his own analysis to see where I'm going to invest. How profitable, what will I get at the end of the day? Today, the common man is crying for house rent. Landlords are increasing house rent. Agents are also increasing their percentage. Everybody is feeding on who? The common man. And when the poor no longer have what to feed on, they'll feed on the rich, but that never happened.
Well, anyway, that's the revolution former Vice President Atiku Abubakar is talking about. But anyway, I doubt if we have any more time to talk. I know how really vexed you are, especially as it concerns this issue. And no surprise you spoke this way. But as much as we can talk about the problem, it's also right we still look at solutions to deal with it. And you've just highlighted some of the key sectors that need revamping for us to see if we really have to do more as it concerns getting more for the economy. But anyways, we really need to go now, and we need to thank you so much. And talking of no other person, but activist Kevin Ojomodu for giving us an insight on what he feels the economy should be, and also for the story of a little late Davina, a sad tale in our mouths, but one that seems to be unfolding. But be rest assured, Atlantic TV is always on point as it concerns giving you latest information, especially as it concerns what seems to be happening, not just in the country itself, but the state and around our locals, that for sure. But we will not go without really thanking you so much. And I'm talking of comrade, or rather activist Kevin Ojomodu, like I'd like to call you today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
You do know we always will call on you, especially as it concerns some major trending issues.
I'm available.
And I will really appreciate all of that. Thank you so much.
My pleasure always.
Well, anyway, for me, it's a quick wrap. And you do know our dialogue is always on every weekday. And a major critical part of Viewpoint. And you do understand that Viewpoint is not coming to an end yet. The news will be around the hour. And honestly, I'm getting that aroma already. While Messi seems to be cooking up a beautiful dish as it concerns trending, and one you like to trend along with her. So stick around. Still more with Viewpoint. But for me, Michael Gobadia, God willing, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Your role as students, are you here? Are you hearing? Your role as students, your first role is to learn. Your parents are doing what they need to do, send you to school, whether it's government school or it's private school. The first thing, the paramount thing, the basis of what you are doing at this age is to learn. And one of the ways you learn is not just listening to what the teacher is saying in class, but you must also be a reader. Right? They say that a reader will end up becoming a leader, is it not? And there's something one man taught me, and it has stuck with me for over a while. I'm going to ask all the students to repeat after me. And it will help you read, right? So say, I will read. Are we together? Say, I will read when I feel like reading. I will read when I don't feel like reading. I will read until I feel like reading. Make sense? I'd like you to write it down. Write it down. Write it down. Every student here, write it down. Write it down. Write it down. So if you don't take note of anything we did here today, you know that you will read when you feel like reading. You will read when you don't feel like reading. You will read until you feel like reading. And you see this thing they say about leaders becoming leaders. It's very true. You can read your way to the top. I can tell you that. You can read your way to the top. If you are behind in your class today, take this thing I've told you now. Read when you feel like reading. Read when you don't feel like reading. Read until you feel like reading. You will see that you will become a leader in your class. And that's the next point I'm going to talk about. Become a leader. The thing you are worried that your parents are not doing, if you don't lead, take leadership today, in that tomorrow that we are looking at, this future, you will still repeat those same things again until you take responsibility. Right? So every young child here, one of the problems of our nation today is the problem of leadership. And we cannot solve that problem at the top. To solve that problem, we need to start from the root. The root is you. So from now, it brings me to my third point. To become a leader means that you are responsible. Is it not? So start to take responsibility. Take initiative. This thing is not here. It's not supposed to be here. Don't wait for the next person to come and do it. Do it. Somebody is dumping refuse in class and there's a dustbin in class. Take responsibility. Sorry, I'm supposed to drop that thing there. You not concern me, you not concern me. I think it's a spoiler. I'm not so. Can you hear me at all? It not concern me, it not concern me. Very soon, it will not concern you. That time when it concern you, you might not be able to do anything about it. Right? So, at every time, you must take responsibility. See what is wrong, correct it. See somebody doing something wrong, speak up. Don't keep quiet. Alright? You know, we were taught when we were growing up that, when you don't talk. So, naturally, African society, as you are growing up, all your excitement, all your enthusiasm is numb because they tell you don't talk, don't talk, don't talk. But the world is changing. The world is changing. If you look at leadership across the world today, those standards that I'm looking at, the level, the age of leadership has dropped. I see the Prime Minister of Canada, how many years? Nobody else. How many years Prime Minister of Canada? Trudeau, what's his name? Young guy, right? So the age of leadership keeps dropping. But ours is on the other side, huh? Our is on the... But that needs to change. For us to be able to compete in the Committee of Nations, we need you to begin to get into leadership. And you cannot get into leadership until you take responsibility. And that happens everywhere that you are in your home, in the school, in your environment. When you see somebody doing what is wrong, you speak up. Finally, I'm going to say, mind your association. Mind your association. Mind your association. There's something in the Bible that talks about, it's in the Bible now, but there's a wise saying that they say, evil communication corrupts what? Good manners. Have you ever wondered why they say evil communication corrupts good manners? Many of us think that good manners can change evil communication. If we would do that, they would have said evil manners, but good manners can change good communication. Have you observed, maybe for parents here, that with more rotten tomatoes in a basket, that more rotten tomatoes can condemn all the other tomatoes. Mommies, am I correct? One rotten tomatoes can condemn all the other rotten ones. The 10 good ones cannot make that rotten one change. That is why if there's one corrupt person in your class, I thought I must speak up just now. Speak up quickly. If you see that he's involving in drugs, he's doing immoral activities, he's doing things that are not right, he's asking you to go certain places, he's watching some things in his phone, he's showing you, he will not take you to that future that we want to. He said, let's go and buy pizzas somewhere, action pizzas. Let's go and buy this. Let's go and buy that. Things that you know. And you see the funny thing about immoral things. Once they say it, you know that this thing is not right. You know that this is not. So let's go and visit that boy. And when school time, take responsibility and then mind your association. Those ones begin to speak out quickly. Auntie, come, let me tell you. This person has to go so, and I know that this thing is not correct. And auntie, when they tell you to find a way to manage it so that you don't expose them. The reason why some of them don't speak up is because when they speak up, you take them to make example in front of class. How can I give you privileged information and use me to make example? Everybody is scared of me and you become, no child wants to become, the one that is isolated in the class. So please, we need to do better on that. So mind the association, because evil communication corrupts what? Evil communication corrupts what? And so when you identify that this other person has, evil communication and bad manners, take them away. Identify the ones also who are good in class. The one who's always coming first. The one who is always result is AAA. Make sure that kind of person, and your own is CCC. Make sure that kind of person is the person you are following. Like I said, follow a mentor, right? It can be your mate, but he's doing something that you're not doing. Maybe he's reading when he doesn't feel like reading. Reading when he doesn't feel like reading till he feels like reading. Follow those ones, copy those ones, right? Start following them and making sure that you get the privileged knowledge that you need to get to improve. And I want to say this, very importantly, this is the only thing I say, I think I've done very well. You need to find God. Yeah? Say it again. You need to find God in your youth, now that you are young. It is better to find Him now. You know why? If you choose a mentor on your own, you will choose wrong mentor. But if the Holy Spirit leads you to choosing the mentor, you choose the one that will help you move forward. So parents, teachers, please introduce your children to God. They are not too small. They are not too small. I'm happy that the organizer of this event is a faith-based person, and so I'm not shy to say this to all of us here, that if you don't find God now, if your children don't find God now, they will become a problem to you tomorrow. You're going to go in division every now and then. You're going to look for a lawyer. Make sure, carry them, pattern them. If they find God, it makes the future we're talking about easy. Some people, some parents in this town, I can only say, my own mother has for no reason gone to police station because of me. For no reason has she gone to, where's the other one now? Has she looked for a lawyer because of me? And there are many other people like that around here. Please, make sure that from now, if you don't instill it now, it will go hard for tomorrow. So every young person here, make sure you find God. Look, I can tell you that no man who has made it without God. And every man who has made it has a fountain and a foundation in God. And it's very easy. All you need to do is give your life to Christ. I'm sure they do all of this in schools, environments. You do it in church. Take time, ask the Holy Spirit to help you, and He will always help you. Alright? Finally, how many of us have ever said, "We're going to carry last"? Don't you know before? What you know the carry last abi? Pata na waiting. Pata na draw. Many of us as parents here, leaders, teachers, grew up with this mindset of what you know the carry last. And I dare to say that spirit is gathering down. That what you know the carry last spirit is the resilient spirit of the worry boy. That wherever he goes to, his head, no matter how hard his place is, no matter how murky the waters are, his head must come outside. Because we not fit just carry last. Pata is going to be broken first. All of us carry first together. And I want to say to the young people here that you need to have this resilience. This resilience of the worry boys, what has kept the organizer of this program. The resilience of the Warri Boys, what has brought me thus far here, the resilience of the Warri Boys, what has made the Warri people you know all over the nation to stand and keep their head above water. The joy that we have as elders growing is that the people coming after us also has caught this fire. And I'm telling you, young people here, catch the fire of the normal Warri Boy. That resilience that makes you want to be the first in class. That resilience that makes you want to be the funniest. That resilience that makes you want to be the biggest networker. The normal Warri Boy. Anywhere he goes to, he is friends with everybody. Why? People just love him. The way he talks, the way he acts, the way he's, let me say this. And I see a trend coming that is very wrong and it's not good. Many of us who were parents, who were here during the crisis, we know what it was. We don't want to see that again. And so I'm going to say this to say that the reason why the Warri Boy is a good networker is because in Warri, we didn't know the difference between tribes, right? It was a melting pot. And my prayer for all of us, and I wrap up here, is that we'll keep that fire alive and keep that Warri family together, and that future that we're looking for, where Warri becomes one of the A cities in Nigeria, will be realized. Thank you very much. That's my time.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
My name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst, one of Nigerian comedy.
Alright guys, back again, yes boss, my name is Osh baby.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah, what up people, it's your boy Victor 80.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife and just celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV, we wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Behind closed doors, too many suffer in silence. Too many lives are scarred by violence in the very place that should bring peace, the home. Domestic violence is not love. It is pain. It breaks trust, destroys lives and families, and steals futures. Domestic violence is not a private matter. It's a violation of dignity, and it must end. Because hitting a woman does not make you a man, but correcting her in love and staying in peace with her is God's plan. Together, we can raise our voices, protect the vulnerable, and rebuild lives. Say no to silence. Say no to fear. Say no to domestic violence. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
Every year, millions of lives are stolen, dreams cut short, futures traded in silence. Human trafficking is a modern-day slavery. It hides in plain sight, tearing families apart and trapping the vulnerable in fear. But together, we can end it. Together, we can protect, we we can rescue, and we can give hope. Say no to exploitation. Say no to slavery. Say no to human trafficking. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined, uniquely different. Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
My name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst, one of Nigerian comedy.
Alright guys, back again, yes boss, my name is Osh baby.
CME Alade.
Yeah, what up people, it's your boy Victor 80.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife and just celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV, we wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Hello and welcome to our daily news roundup in Atlantic TV. I am Nkechi Tejiri. Here are our top stories. Federal government approves 28 billion naira bailout for free meter rollout. Delta unites for security. Oboiwari launches NDSSTF fund in Asaba. Shock exit. Governor Dwoye Tiri dumps PDP after 2 decades. CBN, Nigeria's trade surplus hits 6% of GDP, says Cardoso. FIFA backs 2026 host despite Trump's security comments. Now to the news in full. The federal government has approved a fresh 28 billion naira bailout to electricity distribution companies across the country for the free rollout of meters to customers under the second phase of the Meter Acquisition Fund scheme. Under the new NEC order signed by Vice Chairman Musiliu Oseni and Commissioner Dafe Akbeneye, the 28 billion naira will be shared among the 11 discos in line with their market distributions and contributions. Ikeja Electric tops the list with 5.47 billion naira, followed by Echo, Ibadan, and Abuja discos, while Yola and Jos get the least allocations. The Commission insists that the meters will be distributed at no cost to customers, with a strict 10-day window for discos to begin procurement and submit selected meter providers for approval. NEC says the initiative is aimed at closing Nigeria's 7 million meter gap, improving service delivery, and curbing energy theft nationwide. The second tranche builds on the initial 21 billion naira phase concluded in June 2025, which funded meter purchases through the National Electricity Market. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission says the intervention will cover all unmetered Band A customers and fast-track metering for those in Band B as part of the Presidential Metering Initiative. With the latest disbursement, authorities say the era of estimated billing may soon be over if the discos meet their deadlines. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has criticized state governors for abandoning projects started by their predecessors, describing the trend as wasteful and detrimental to development. At the inauguration of the Best Western Plus Hotel in Yenagoa, Jonathan recalled how his administration began work on a 5-star and 2 3-star hotels to boost Bayelsa's tourism and hospitality sectors. He said the facilities, if completed, would have positioned Yenagoa as a top destination for international visitors, especially during major entertainment events like the African Movie Awards. The former president decried the habit of incoming governments discarding ongoing projects, warning that such political short-sightedness wastes public funds and stifles continuity. Governor Dwoye Tiri, in his remarks, commended the hotel's founder, Dr. Harcourt Aduke, for investing in the state's economy, noting that the project would create jobs and attract more investors. Also speaking, Mrs. Initeme Aduke Eromosele describes the hotel as a blend of comfort and luxury, overlooking the scenic Oxbow Lake, a symbol of Bayelsa's growing hospitality industry. Jonathan, who governed Bayelsa State before becoming Nigeria's vice president in 2007, lamented that key hotel projects he initiated were neglected by successive administrations, leading to the loss of billions in potential revenue. The launch of the Best Western Plus Hotel marks a new chapter for Bayelsa's tourism drive, even as Jonathan's call reignites debate over continuity and accountability in Nigeria's governance system. In Delta State, local government and primary school retirees are accusing officials of illegal deductions running into millions of naira from their pensions and gratuities. At the Okpe Council Secretariat in Ororokpe, the retirees under the Forum for Local Government Retirees and the Association of Retired Primary School Teachers staged a peaceful protest, holding placards and calling on Governor Sheriff Oborowori to intervene. In a joint statement signed by their leaders, including Pastor Daniel Onosanimoni and Prince Gordon Etuwede, they alleged that the new consultant altered key pension parameters, raising the bond rate from 10% to 13.5%, which they claim slashed pension values by more than half. The retirees described the deductions as unconstitutional and inhumane. They commended the governor for securing a 40 billion naira loan to pay backlog arrears, but insisted that the new computation shortchanged them. One retiree said that after 35 years of service, he received just 3.5 million naira instead of 12.5 million naira, calling the review an assault on senior citizens. They are now demanding a refund of all deductions and a return to the previous pension payments template. The aggrieved pensioners say they have lost between 2 million naira and 10 million naira each after a controversial review conducted by a consultant hired by Algon, the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria. Meanwhile, government sources say the issue is under review, even as affected pensioners threaten to continue protest until their full entitlements are restored. The Delta State government has officially launched the Delta State Security Trust Fund, DSSTF, in a grand ceremony at the Government House Banquet Hall, Asaba. The initiative, described as a new model for partnership against insecurity, brings together traditional rulers, business moguls, and corporate leaders. Chairman of the Delta State Security Trust Fund, Honorable Daniel Mayuku, said the DSSTF will focus on surveillance technology, police infrastructure, and youth empowerment to curb crime. High-profile guests including Zenith Bank founder Jim Ovia, businessman Obi Kubana, Tantita MD High Chief Keston Pondi, and Chief Government Ekpemupolo Tompolo were also present. Governor Sheriff Oborewari commended the turnout, calling the gathering a united front against insecurity. He said Delta State is investing not just in safety, but in the future of its youth. The event's theme, Enhanced Peace and Security in Delta State, a task that must be accomplished, reflects the administration's commitment to sustainable peace and growth.
We are gathered here today to formally launch the Delta Security Trust Fund, which was established by law in 2013. The primary function of the Delta State Security Trust Fund is to raise funds to complement the efforts of government by seeking collaboration with the private sector to support security interventions. These interventions include the acquisition and deployment of security infrastructure needed for the effective functioning of all security agencies in Delta State. The funds are also used for the training and retraining of security personnel to enhance their capacity and competence in tackling violent crimes and other crime-related activities. Given the importance and far-reaching impact of security on our daily existence, the Delta State Security Trust Fund was, from inception, envisaged to be a public-private partnership.
Among the dignitaries in attendance was His Majesty Ogiame Atuwashe III, the Olu of Warri, who joined over 150 billionaires and philanthropists in pledging support for the state's new security drive. The event was chaired by Access Holdings Group Chairman Mr. Aigboje Ike Imokurede, while the keynote address was delivered by retired DIG Marvel Akboyibo, who emphasized intelligence-led policing and community collaboration. From Asaba, indications suggest that the fundraising target may have already been surpassed, marking a major step in Delta's effort to secure lives, protect investments, and build a safer tomorrow. Bayelsa State Governor Senator Doye Diri has resigned from the People's Democratic Party, ending over 2 decades of political loyalty to the platform that produced him from commissioner to governor. Reports have it that Diri's decision came hours after he appeared alongside former President Goodluck Jonathan at the commissioning of the Best Western Plus Hotel in Yenagua. Moments later, his spokesman, Daniel Alabria, confirmed the governor's resignation in a Facebook post, but offered no explanation. Sources say Diri has been holding a closed-door meeting with members of the State Executive Council and the PDP State Working Committee to formally announce his decision. The Speaker of the State Assembly, Right Honorable Abraham Ngombere, was also in attendance as reports filtered in that PDP lawmakers and commissioners have equally quit the party. Governor Diri's defection marks a dramatic twist in Bayelsa's political landscape, especially as he has long been viewed as one of the PDP's strongest pillars in the South-South region. The shock resignation comes just months after his re-election and has sparked speculation over his next political move, with reports linking him to the ruling All Progressives Congress and the African Democratic Congress. While Diri is yet to declare his new political home, analysts say his next move could reshape Bayelsa's 2027 power play. The People's Democratic Party has appointed Senator Ben Ndiobi as the new secretary of its National Convention Organizing Committee, following the defection of Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State to the All Progressives Congress. A statement signed by the party's National Publicity Secretary, Debo Ologunagba, said the decision underscores PDP's commitment to stability and unity ahead of the crucial national exercise. The NWC commended the committee chaired by Governor Amadou Fintiri of Adamawa State for its efforts towards the success of the 2025 convention. Party leaders and members have also been urged to remain steadfast and focused as the PDP prepares to chart its direction ahead of the 2027 general elections. Governor Peter Mba, who recently left the party for the ruling APC, had previously served as secretary of the committee before his defection. The appointment, approved by the National Working Committee on behalf of the NEC, is aimed at ensuring a smooth and credible convention scheduled for November 15th and 16th in Ibadan, Oyo State. With Senator Ben Obi now stepping in, the PDP leadership says it remains focused on rebuilding internal cohesion and delivering a convention that will redefine the opposition's roadmap to 2027. You're watching our daily news roundup on Atlantic TV. We'll go on a short break. When we return, more news stories to come.
It is back, it is bigger, and it's better. The Future of the Warri Child second edition is here. It's a one-day career seminar designed to inspire and equip senior secondary school students for greatness. Theme: Beyond Limits, Unlocking the Potential of the Warri Child. Date is 24th day of October 2025. Time 9 a.m. Venue: the Brown Hill Colosseum, Warri in Delta State. Powered by Coral Care Foundation. For more inquiries, please call 08034659576 or 07031946811. The future is bright.
Welcome back. Now on the business front, Nigeria's trade surplus has risen to 6% of the country's gross domestic product. That's according to the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, who disclosed this while leading the Nigerian delegation at the IMF and World Bank annual meetings in Washington. In a statement released by the Federal Ministry of Finance, Cardoso reaffirmed the government's commitment to disciplined macroeconomic management and long-term reform sustainability. Also speaking at the meeting, the Minister of State for Finance, Dr. Doris Uzoka Anite, said Nigeria remains committed to building strategic alliances with global financial institutions and development partners. She noted that the country's growing visibility on the global stage reflects renewed international confidence in Nigeria's reform agenda and its determination to foster inclusive and sustainable economic growth. Uzoka Anite described the meetings in Washington as a key step in strengthening Nigeria's economic diplomacy and positioning the country as a competitive emerging market. Nigeria's inflation rate has dropped to 18.02% in September 2025, its lowest level in 3 years, marking the sixth consecutive month of decline since April. The NBS report released on Tuesday showed that prices of key food items such as maize, garri, beans, millet, potatoes, onions, and fresh pepper declined significantly across major markets. On a year-on-year basis, inflation was 14.68%, lower than the 32.7% recorded in September 2024, a sign of improving price stability. However, on a month-to-month basis, the report noted a marginal change of 0.72%, showing that the pace of price increase is gradually slowing. Analysts attribute the sustained decline to improved agricultural output, stronger naira performance, and the federal government's intervention in food logistics. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, headline inflation eased by 2.1% percentage points from 20.12% in August, while food inflation also recorded a sharp fall, dropping to 16.87%. While the easing inflation offers relief to consumers, economists warn that sustaining the trend will depend on consistent policy actions and stability in fuel and transport costs. Away from the business front now to some foreign news. The United States has revoked the visas of several foreign nationals who publicly celebrated the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. The attack sparked outrage nationwide, reigniting debates over political extremism and free speech. According to the State Department, 6 individuals from South Africa, Germany, Mexico, Brazil, and Paraguay were identified for making online posts mocking Kirk's death. Screenshots of the post were shared alongside the announcement, with all 6 visas now officially revoked. Meanwhile, Trump posthumously awarded Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom, calling him a warrior for conservative values. The move follows Washington's tighter visa screening policies, including the new requirement for applicants to disclose social media handles from the past 5 years. The State Department confirmed the decision on Tuesday, saying America has no obligation to host foreigners who wish death on Americans. Kirk, a close ally to President Donald Trump, was shot dead last month while addressing students at Utah Valley University. The crackdown underscores Washington's message that hate speech and political violence, even online, carry real-world consequences. There was a security scare in the skies on Wednesday after a U.S. military aircraft carrying Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth made an emergency landing in the United Kingdom. According to Pentagon spokesman Sean Parnell, the plane landed safely at an undisclosed airport in Britain under standard safety procedures, with all passengers and crew unharmed. Hegseth later confirmed his safety in a brief post saying, "All good, thank God. Continue mission." At the NATO meeting earlier in Brussels, the U.S. Defense Secretary had urged member nations to increase military assistance to Ukraine as the war with Russia rages on. The incident occurred while Hegseth was returning to Washington from a NATO defense ministers' meeting in Brussels after a crack was detected on the aircraft's windshield. Officials say the aircraft is undergoing technical checks and alternative travel arrangements are being made for Secretary Hegseth's return to the United States. Away from the foreign scene now to sports news, World Football's governing body FIFA says it remains confident that all 16 host cities will be ready to stage matches at the 2026 World Cup, despite US President Donald Trump's suggestion that some games could be moved for security reasons. Trump, speaking at the White House on Tuesday, said he could ask FIFA President Gianni Infantino to relocate matches if he deemed any host city unsafe. He cited concerns about crimes and unrest in Democratic-run cities like Boston, San Francisco, and Seattle, all of which are scheduled to host World Cup games. The president also hinted that events for the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics could face similar reviews if security concerns persist. The 2026 World Cup, jointly hosted by the United States, Mexico, and Canada, will be the largest in history, featuring 48 teams and 104 matches between June 11th and July 19th. In a statement on Wednesday, FIFA reaffirmed that safety and security remain top priorities, but noted that such matters are ultimately the responsibility of local and national authorities. FIFA says preparations remain on track across all venues, stressing that collaboration with government agencies continues to ensure a safe and successful tournament. Former UFC welterweight king Kamaru Usman says he's not done making history just yet. The Nigerian-born fighter has vowed to become a two-weight UFC champion before hanging up his gloves. The 37-year-old, known as the Nigerian Nightmare, is drawing inspiration from the likes of Conor McGregor and Alex Pereira, who both etched their names in UFC history by holding 2 titles. Usman is reportedly targeting the winner of the upcoming Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena bout as a possible next opponent. Fans still remember his thrilling short-notice middleweight fight against Khamzat Chimaev 2 years ago, a narrow majority decision loss that many believe could have gone either way. For now, Usman says the mission remains the same: to make history once more and to leave the octagon as one of the greatest African fighters ever. Usman, who bounced back to form earlier this year with a win over Joaquin Buckley, revealed that his dream finish would be to reclaim the welterweight title, vacate it, and then move up to capture the middleweight crown, a feat achieved by only a handful of UFC greats. With his legacy already secured in the welterweight division, Kamaru Usman's next fight could define his place among the UFC's all-time elites. And that brings us to the end of our daily news roundup for today, right here on Atlantic TV. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms for more news stories and headline updates. Thank you so much for watching. I am Nkechi Tejere. Have a pleasant day.
It is back. It is bigger and it's better. The Future of the Warri Child second edition is here. It's a one-day career seminar designed to inspire and equip senior secondary school students for greatness. Seeing beyond limits, unlocking the potential of the Warri Child. Date is 24th day of October 2025. Time 9 a.m. Venue: the Brown Hill Colosseum, Warri in Delta State. Powered by Coral Care Foundation. For more inquiries, please call 08034659576 or 07031946811. The future is bright.
Teachers, oye. Teachers, oye. And so as I spoke about parents, many of you will agree with me because you know that many of the challenges you have in teaching and in the schooling environment comes from the home background, right? Now I've talked to the parents to be available, to be present, to make sure that when you are doing the needful to correct these children, they are also addressing that learning. Because I've seen and I've heard of situations where teachers correct parents and parents go there and say, you correct my child, you do this, and you make sure I deal with you. Therefore, enforcing the bad behavior in that child. But then teachers also, you have a role to play. You do have a role to play. Aside the home environment, the next place where the child learns everything that they need for the future that we are looking at today is in school. My children, when I tell them what to do, many times where the argument comes from is not from what mommy said. It is what my teacher said. I said, don't do this thing like this. He don't say, no. My teacher said that this is how. So I'm saying that to say that you have a very pivotal role to play in this future that we're talking about. And it is now because these children believe in you, these children see their future in you, and it is what you impact in them that they take into the future. I know that many things are not in place. I agree. We've spoken to the government. Thank God for big programs like this where we'll come here and emphasize on the things that needs to be done, making sure that not just the students are rewarded for exceptional behavior, teachers also are rewarded. Let us leave the time where the teachers' reward is in heaven, right? The teachers' reward should also be here. The government should do all of those. But then, when they do all of those, remember that the future of our nation, not just the future of these children, the future of our nation is in your hands as teachers. Because if these children will be good children, it will be dependent on how you train them up to be as good children. If Nigeria will have a bad future, it will be dependent in your hand. So I want to say this to teachers in wrapping up, that you must not just teach because I finish school and they look for work and not get work. Teaching slots come and they give me teaching slot. And you go there and do it like it is not my business. I just say to them, when months end, they will pay me my money. If I get better work, I will come out for this work. No! It is not more beyond that. Life does not just happen. You are here for a reason. And because you are here now and you have, that sphere of empowering the future of our nation, you must take it as a responsibility. You must take it as a responsibility. I am what I am today as a result of one Mr. Frank Ango. I will never forget. He used to have a lesson, the mobile lesson. Yeah? I was a very stubborn child growing up. But that guy took me, my mom put me in his lesson because I was preparing for primary 6 exam. And normally people that go to that lesson, the guy has a way of being able to deliver. So my mom took me there, and beyond teaching, he made sure he cultured me. So I'm saying this to teachers, that your role goes beyond teaching. You are preparing a life for the future. And that is a very big responsibility. You need God to help you. You need to also put your mind. If you do it anyhow in taking care of other people's own, who will take care of your own? Bible says if you are unfaithful in another man's, who will give you your own? So if you want your own to be good, you want the future to be good, teachers, your role in this is to make sure that you do this in love. And if you are doing it in love, there are many other things that will come in that line.
about all the trending gist on the internet and of course give our opinions about them. I am Mercy Irabo, and you know, once it's trending, I can never be alone. So who is joining us on Trending today? Yeah, E to the N to the K to the A to the Y and K. I love those moves.
Hi, Mercy.
Hi,
oh my God,
MK.
it's so good to be back on Trending.
Thank you so much.
So much is going on, girl.
Yes, so much. I've been waiting.
As in,
when is NK going to join me on Trending?
I don't hear. You know, so when just day comes me in, let's do this.
All right, so thank you for coming.
Thank you.
What's trending today? Breaking political news. Bayelsa State Governor Doye Diri is officially announced his resignation from the People's Democratic Party, the PDP. He said, and I quote, "Today I have formally resigned my membership from PDP for very obvious reasons." Well, let's see the footage.
My membership of the People's Democratic Party. And I'm not going to resign alone. And as you can see, I'm here with Mr. Speaker, Deputy Speaker, and all the members of our party who are going to go with me. There are some who are not here because they are on official assignments. And so today, I have formally resigned my membership of the People's Democratic Party for very obvious reasons. I'm grateful to all my friends and supporters who have stood by us and with us. And I want to thank all of you again and again. And together, we will continue to build a strong and virile Bayelsa State and a strong and virile country by extension. Once again, I appreciate you. I thank you all, and may God bless Bayelsa State. Thank you.
Well, very obvious reasons. And so far, over 21 lawmakers have resigned with him. Well, this has stirred lots of reactions from netizens. And you know me, I'll always gather reactions, yeah. So let's see some of the reactions we got online. Okay, Sanyon Day is just laughing. And this is saying, like, seriously, they're running to another party to manipulate us to vote for them for another tenure again. I'm not the one saying it. Let's see if we have more. All of una na thief de una eyes. Still not me. Let's see if we have more reactions here. Achievements come in various ways.
Okay.
In various ways. Okay.
I hear you, sis.
Okay, I don't know what this is about.
This picture speaks volumes.
Let's see if we have more reactions. Nigerians are waiting for 2027. You all will learn the hard way. Nothing is stopping Tinubu. You all will learn, okay? I'm not the one saying it. You're welcome, Governor. Come and be under the mandates. We don't know who is talking because he has not even said the party he is going into. Which obvious reasons, sir?
I was going to ask the
I've been
same
asking.
question.
That's obvious reason. Seems like everybody
I was
knows.
going to ask,
but I don't know
because it's not even obvious.
Nigerian political sphere can't be like snake and ladder.
You remember the game Snakes and Ladder?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All of them are running to the winning party. I don't know the winning party. It is finished.
No.
Interesting. It is finished. They are running because they are afraid if not, EFCC go open their case. Because if them they APC, nobody go fit open their case. Even governor of Delta State self don't go APC. And this particular man, now the people's man. So if him go APC, full Bayelsa don't follow him. Yes, so far 24 lawmakers. Where is he moving to? I am still wondering. I don't know yet. But why is it difficult for many Nigerian politicians to stay in opposite? everyone is always running to the ruling party, not because of the interest of the people, but for their own political interest and calculations. I think that's all. Okay, I don't know if we have more reactions. Why is it difficult? Okay, so that's it basically. The thing is, I don't know, but he said very obvious reasons. And now, I don't think it's obvious reasons. I feel for the obvious party. In as much as he hasn't said anything, well, we know where he is going. And so I don't know if he might disappoint me, but let's see. I know tomorrow I'll still discuss this on trending.
For obvious reasons too. It's like we know where he's going to.
We know where he's going to.
But then, in my own opinion, when he said for obvious reasons, me, I'm now asking, is it obvious reasons as regards the PDP? For obvious reasons, as you know, we see multiple defections going on in the country right now, and we all know where they are going to. So is that the obvious reasons? Because I know the PDP right now, it's on a rocky trail.
Yeah.
You know, there's been a lot of internal crisis going on, and they have still not been able to resolve it because of all these defections going on. So people are trying to be where it seems to be stable, because you know the elections are coming up, so everyone wants to secure their grounds and not be in a party where they are not sure how things are going to unfold. You know, what he did just reminds me of what the governor of Delta State did, Governor Sheriff Oberoi, when he resigned from the PDP and moved to the APC, and he carried his whole cabinet and moved to the APC. Whether you agree or you not agree, you must move or you resign. You know, and that is exactly what Doyediri is doing right now. You heard him say he's not moving alone.
Yeah, he's
going. See the speaker, the deputy speaker, and every other, you know, person moving with him, but they have not declared where they are going to. Of course, for obvious reasons, it's like we know where they are going to. You know, everyone is trying. Like, I think I like what one of the comments said. You know, saying that everyone is trying to move to a party that would favor them. Not because they are rooting for the people,
but their
own personal gains and interests, and that is what seems to baffle me about Nigerian politicians.
Yeah.
We vote these guys into power, and then they go in there. They first make promises. Oh, if you vote me, I will do this, I will do that, and then they make all kinds of campaign promises. And then when they are eventually in the position, we hardly see one or two ticked off those promises. And then you see people going in for their own selfish reasons. And then I'm asking myself, the people who voted you into this position, you are accountable to them.
Yes, you are very
accountable. You owe them your life in that position. So if you're not there to cater for their welfare and their security and what have you, then you lied. You lied to get into that position. And that is one thing that has trailed Nigerian politics, the fact that politicians in Nigeria, they don't even think about the masses. They are not there for the masses.
I love the way NK is boiling.
No, because it's really painful and shameful at the same time, because now the elections are coming. You will see them come again.
Yeah,
selling people, bribing people with bags of rice and groundnut oil and water.
Really
5,000.
Do you really blame the politicians? I blame the citizens, because you're always going to take something that won't even last you for a few weeks.
They are
then
hungry.
You want to suffer for the next 4 years.
You know, so I mean, people are thinking of their daily bread, not their long-term bread, their daily bread. So if you don't have a daily bread to eat, and someone brings you rice and says, okay, just eat this one first, tomorrow we'll look for another one to give to you, and then you take it because you are hungry. But it wouldn't have gotten to this level if the people were accountable to the people that voted them in there. I don't want to talk too much of politics right now because I'm really angry, but then it is what it is. For obvious reasons, we will soon see the party. If it's our own obvious reasons too, we will know.
The truth is, I do not in any way blame all of these politicians. I feel if we as citizens do better, these people would know how
when
to
we did better, what did the land us? In the last election, it was very obvious that the person that the people voted for, we all know the person the people voted, and it was very obvious. Nigerians were ready to take the bull by the horn and make sure that the person that we want to be in power is the person that will be there. But what did we see?
Well, the truth is we still saw lots of briberies and all of that, even giving the the people money to vote for them and all of that,
Exactly.
and they were taking money and all of that. So it still boils down to the citizens. Election is coming again. Don't think of
Shine your eye.
the daily bread,
Oh,
like
Jesus.
NK said. Don't think about the daily bread. Think about how you would cope for the next 4 years. If you are doing this just for that day, after that day, what happens?
Hunger
What
sets
happens
in
next?
again.
You'll be back into all of this whole drama, inflation, and all of that happening in the country. So let's do better. Election is coming, and that's why we're seeing all of this defections and all of that. Can we, for once, disappoint all of these politicians? Well, away from political drama, let's go to, I saw this very viral statement from a veteran Nollywood actor, Chiwetalu Ago. Yeah, I don't know, I like that man.
The man that always has a proverb.
Yeah, I love him so much. So in a viral video he shared on his X, he boldly stated that poverty cannot die by fire. I know we have one song that says, poverty, die, 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 poverty, die. Poverty cannot die by fire. He said, you need to work really hard to make money. If you just want to keep on praying and praying, poverty will not die by fire. Anyways, let's see the footage.
Poverty does not die by fire. I repeat, poverty cannot die by fire. Pray from now till tomorrow. If you don't work hard, poverty will deal with you. If you don't put in enough effort, poverty will go back. Yes, prayer is powerful. It connects you to divine wisdom and favor. But work is a channel through which blessings manifest. You can pray all day for success, but if you refuse to work, plan, or act, you will still remain poor. God blesses effort, not idleness.
According to him, the real key to success is hard work and diligence.
Bam.
It said, faith, even the Bible, not him, faith without work is dead.
Is dead.
If God is
All
saying
around.
that, I wonder why you just feel like you need to go to church and pray. And then if there's no, like if it has to do with just a prayer, I'm not sure God would have said in his word that I have given you the power to make wealth. That means go into the word and make wealth, not just come in and say, God, you've given me the power to make wealth. Yes, wealth fall from heaven and all of that. Wealth will not fall from heaven, my sister, if you do not walk. So me, I stand with Chiwetalu Ago. I agree, I boldly agree with him. Prayer without work is dead. NK, what do you feel?
No, there is nothing to negate here. I mean, everything he said, I mean, they were facts. You saw me receiving, like, he was spitting facts.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when God created the world, he created Adam and Eve. I mean, he put them in the garden. The Garden of Eden had everything. But Adam still had to work to get food to eat. So you cannot say you want to. Some people, you see, one thing about us Nigerians, Africans generally, we are so spiritual. That's why the white people, they laugh at us too much because they feel everything is spiritual. Yes, life in itself is spiritual, but then if you keep saying, "Oh, Jesus will not come down from heaven and come and put food on your table." He will not come down from heaven and come and give you.
From heaven.
It will not fall. The days it fell, it has not fallen again since then. So it will not fall. So if you think you want to, if you like, go and sleep in church for the full 1 week, say you are doing outreach or you're doing whatever, you want to pray, poverty will not die. You have to use your hands, get your hands dirty.
And that's why there's walk and pray.
Walk and pray. Yeah, exactly.
While you're working,
so
you're praying.
Yes. So your prayer is backing what, even the same Bible said, what you have in your hands, I will bless it.
Yes, I'll bless
So
the
if
work
there's
of
nothing
the
in your
hands.
hands, what does God want to bless? I mean, it's just common sense. But these days, I mean, common sense is not really common anymore.
It's not.
So if you have common sense, you will know that you have to have something. It is what you have that God will now multiply.
Yes, exactly.
The three, I mean, is it the three, the parable in the
That
Bible?
he gave them talents.
Exactly.
Right?
The man gave them something that they now multiply.
Yeah, some just went to keep
some
theirs.
went to keep theirs and they came back with nothing. So the ones that they gave 5 went and make it 10. So if you don't have anything in your hand, what does God want to now bless? He has to find you doing something. So poverty will not die by fire, my dear.
It will not die. You have to work.
There
So
is no
you
food for lazy
watching
man.
this right now, I hope you agree.
Take that advice.
You need to work
and put yourself together.
Chiwetalu Agu will always give you advices. Work and pray. So that's that for that. Yes, our third story. This one is coming from one of Nigerians' comedy legends, veteran comedian and social commentator Ali Baba
My guy.
has publicly declared his support for polygamy, saying it can actually help maintain order and discipline in marriages. Interesting. During a recent interview, Ali Baba explained that some men prefer having multiple wives because it helps them manage their households better. According to him, some women tend to be more respectful and cooperative when they know their husband have other wives. I needed that deep breath.
Oh,
okay, so
goodness.
I know in economy they say you have to make a supply, you have to reduce supply for demand to increase. So now he's saying that he's bringing that into marriages, that you need to bring another wife, that there need to be a competitor so as to maintain order and discipline in marriage. I wonder where this is coming from, but not in my Bible. It's definitely not coming from my Bible. Thank you.
Oga Ali Baba, Mingosa, you are my person, you are my person. But you see this one that you talk, me, I do not agree with you. I did not agree with you, and I know, I think I know where he's coming from.
Yeah.
The fact that, you know, these days a lot of women tend to, let me say, make yanga, you know, for their husbands. They don't want
it's a
to do
woman
this, they don't want
thing.
to do.
We should
no,
do
no,
yanga.
no, wait.
It's
So I
normal.
think he's now trying to come from the angle of, okay, you are making yanga. Know that as you're making the yanga, there is another person there that your husband can fall to. If your yanga is getting too much, he will just leave you and go to the next person because there are other wives. You have co-wives, you know. But then let's turn it around. Can the woman now go ahead and marry multiple husbands?
So that the man will have competition.
So that as the woman is having competition, let the man too have the competition. So that we'll know how the house will survive, whether the house will not fall down. Because I mean, I do not support polygamy. I do not support, you know, his comments and what he has said. But then again, there are some tribes that support polygamy,
and some religion
as well that support it, and they are okay with it. So if your tribe or your religion, that's what they do for there, if it's okay by you, that's your own cup of tea.
When it comes to
the marriage that I know is one man and one wife. Anything more than that, it is us that puts it. It is not how it was stated from the get-go. So I think man brought this polygamy stuff, you know, and then again, if you feel as a woman you're not ready to compete with anybody for your husband's attention, and you know that the man is having, especially for those of you who are yet to marry, you see that there are potentials of polygamy, or maybe when people have discussions, he's tilting towards that angle. If you just sense anything like that, and you know it's not in your dictionary at all, just let him be, let him go.
Run.
You will not want to enter something that you will go and regret later. So please, if you're not in support of polygamy, don't enter into any relationship with a man who supports polygamy. But if you are in this situation, and this is where you find yourself, you find your husband tilting towards another woman, my dear, call for, how did they say it? Call for help. Yes, call for help.
Call 911. Call Mercy on Trending.
I'm telling you,
I'll come
we'll run
to help you.
I'll come and rescue you.
So you know, Mercy, when it comes to marriages, I just tell you, do what works for you. I will not advise you.
Yeah.
If you're cool with polygamy, some women, do you know some women don't even have issues with polygamy? They feel, yeah, when she comes around, we'll split our jobs, we'll have I won't be doing all of that alone. She will do the cooking.
Especially if the man is a wealthy man, they don't even mind.
They don't mind.
As long
so
as some ladies and my children,
some ladies don't have issues with polygamy. So I will always tell you, do what works for you. If you're fine with polygamy, go ahead. So away from Alibaba and the polygamy. So here's one gist that's got social media talking. A Nigerian woman, Queen Christopher, has revealed how she ended her relationship with her handsome bobo because, according to her, the guy just wouldn't stop asking for money. So finally, a gold digger man. Queen said that at first she thought he was joking, but it became a regular thing. Every week, the guy had one financial request or another, and eventually she said, enough is enough, and walked away.
Okay. Okay, the scales just fell off her eyes.
A lady is walking away from a gold digger. So some time ago when we discussed, I think I had that discussion with Michael, and I told him, I said, when we were talking about ladies not bringing money, ladies not supporting their husbands and all of that, and I told him something. I said, you know, some ladies actually take care of the home. They're actually the father in the house,
and they don't say
and the men will not
it.
come out. You won't see the men online coming out to say, oh, yes, my wife is the one doing this. They would still join the lines of men on social media saying that, what do women bring to the table, knowing fully well that your wife is your sponsor, she's your destiny helper. You will now come to social media and say, what does a woman bring to the table? So I really wish I was having this discussion with Michael right now, because
you will explain
because we have a gold digger. At least this one is very obvious. You come to a woman, ask her for money. The following week, you're asking her again for money, and it happens. It's just that we don't get some ladies coming out to speak. Some ladies, out of desperation, they just want to be there because they feel like, I just need to get married and all of that.
But then, why would you date a broke man? I mean, why?
Okay.
Why would you date a broke man?
Mr. Michael, I hope you're watching this.
You with basic things. I mean, why would you be with such a man? Because if the truth is, whatever you see happening now that you are not married, when you enter, you even see times 2.
Double.
So if you are with a man who can't provide for you, who can't give you money to get basic stuff, he's always asking from you. When you eventually marry such a person, just know that, first of all, you are the one taking care of the marriage bills. You are the one going to, or the wedding bills. You are the one going to keep financing that marriage.
Pay children.
Because I don't know whether the man works. I don't know whether the man works. But if you're always asking your girl for money, meaning you have nothing you're doing. So why would you want to put a girl in that kind of pressure? And I love the fact that she was able to walk away. Some ladies will not do it because they just want to. No, God will do it. God will do it. God will do it. Let me just get married first, so he will be okay. But then there is nothing like he will change. If you don't see the change now, you won't see it tomorrow. Except God intervenes.
Yeah.
You know. But then again, I think that's a very shameful thing to do. It's okay for, I mean, if it happens once or twice, you know, it's okay. But if it becomes a constant thing, meaning the man is really looking for something that he did not put there. And by the time you keep on allowing it, you keep on condoning it, you just have to keep on enjoying it, because that's how it's going to be. Because he knows that when he goes out and he misbehaves, oh, my woman will give me money. So please don't start what you cannot finish.
I really wish more women could just come out and talk. So we'll have more of this online, because once you go online, you just keep seeing women are gold diggers. Women, we have
now it's the man.
Men
come out and talk.
Gold diggers. So I really want us to have more of this. If you know you're suffering something like this, please come out. Speak out.
Yeah.
Speak out. Let's have more of this. Well, away from that, so social media has been on fire lately with report that some so-called iPhone 17 Pro Max that are being sold across Nigeria are iPhone XR in disguise. Interesting. This is coming from all of this chaos we've been seeing online that involved Very Dark Man, B-Lords, and even Nkechi Blessing. Nkechi Blessing is always caught up in between all of this. So this is how the whole thing started. B-Lord came out to say there's refurbished XR now that looks exactly like iPhone 17 Pro Max. And he said he was going to be selling it out for over 400,000 naira. And then Very Dark Man, being in China, came out to say, Bilo, this thing you're selling for over 400,000 naira is just about 200,000 naira. And then the internet caught fire.
Okay.
So that was how people came out to say, no wonder we've been seeing iPhone 17 Pro Max everywhere on social media. Everybody's having iPhone 17 Pro Max, knowing the fact that iPhone 17 Pro Max is over 3 million naira. How come? So we have up to this amount of money in this country, and people are complaining that we don't have money in the country. So some people came out to say, well, my own is 17 Pro Max, it's not XR. That was how Auntie Nkechi Blessing took her 17 Pro Max and dipped it into the water. That this is it. This is iPhone 17 Pro Max. And then Brother VDM came out to say, Auntie from iPhone X has water resistance. Once you put them in water, nothing happens. And VDM took iPhone XR on the tap, on the phone, even dipped it into water. I was like, this is it. It's still working. So Auntie, nothing can change the fact that you might be using an iPhone XR. We do not know. So you coming out to justify yourself. I feel if you have your iPhone 17 Pro Max, you don't need to go out and start talking. You don't need to. Why are you trying to prove a point?
Constant validation.
Like, so with all of this whole drama, I was able to gather some reactions, because why are some persons going to buy iPhone XR just because they want to feel among, they want to belong? Okay, here are some reactions. How we want come differentiate between XR and 17 Pro like this? Interesting. This XR no just one fade. I think we still have more reactions to that. Yeah, we have. Okay, I think we might not be having more reactions. Okay, I won't buy Corolla, put them for Lamborghini body. That's exactly what they're doing now. I beg, help me confirm. So this is talking to VDM. All the iPhone from XS are all water resistant. Yes, they are. You don't need to come and start proving a point to us. XR na Oshimiri for here. Okay. Person go put phone for hot soup to show say it did.
Oh my God,
Nigerians almost. You all should just give VDM his medal and end all of this fights. Interesting. So I've been wondering, NK, this is na big wahala. Hand go meet everybody.
Last.
I am surprised you all sounding like this is new. Something when we sabi tete. Okay, so people have been doing, and these are the same thing that ladies are trying to kill themselves because of iPhone. Where that lady when be they explain for us, make una tag her. Okay, that is Nkechi Blessing. Now everybody go get this phone by force.
Yes,
and
so
NK, I'm just trying to think. Why, like, I don't understand. If not for the whole peer pressure, low self-esteem issues and everything, why would you just want to convert your XR to iPhone 17 just to make people feel like, yes, just to make people feel less of themselves? You want to let them know that, oh, I am bigger than you, but deep down, you know that you are using XR.
You want to feel among, Abby?
You know you are using XR.
Well, we may not have enough time to deliberate on this, but one thing I would just say, Nigerians have this habit of, we always want validation from people. Why would I come online to come and say, oh, I'm finally using an iPhone 17 Pro Max? What am I making the announcement for? Keep it to yourself. If you got it, thank God. Keep it to yourself. Why am I coming online to come and say, oh, see, Sisai Water is original? What am I doing that for? I understand VDM because I know he's in China. I know he's been calling out phone sellers these days. That the money that you're, I think I saw one video where he was calling out a particular seller that was advertising his product for a certain amount, and like, in China, this is how it is. If I come to that Nigeria, I go disgrace all of them. So he's trying to always. I mean, this is what he does. We know him for that. Trying to bring the things as they are, the facts. But then again, why the constant validation? Why are you trying to prove a point? I think it's unnecessary. And all this drama of XR, fine, sometimes it can be like that. Maybe it's actually true that some XR have been converted to 17 Pro Max. But then, why do I have to make a fuss about it on social media?
Well,
if you have
really,
enough money
really,
to buy it,
yeah.
congratulations. Go ahead and do. I mean, so let's focus on what really matters.
Yeah.
I mean, all these things are just frivolous for me.
Time is really not on our side. Maybe we'll be starting from here tomorrow, because this is a real gist in Nigeria, and it's trending currently. Once you go anywhere on your social media accounts, you just see iPhone XR, iPhone 17 Pro Max, and all of that going on.
Meanwhile, before we wrap up, if you can still buy the 17 Pro Max and come and give me, I will appreciate it.
They will get you the refurbished one. All right, so it's a wrap on trending. Yes, you know, time is really not on our side. Yes, sadly, we have to go. But you know me, I always enjoy myself on trending. And I know you out there, you're enjoying yourself too.
Yeah,
and of course, you know you can engage with us through our comment section on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Thank you, NK, for always joining me.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Yeah. So this is where I have to tell you, see you for another great edition of Viewpoints on Atlantic TV.
Yes.
Same time tomorrow. I am Mercy Erabo. Do have a great day.
Bye.